Good evening and welcome to the Social Entrepreneurs Ireland Gathering 2020. Tonight is a night of hope and inspiration, and hopefully a reminder that even in troubled times, everything is possible. That has become a mantra for us and the team in Social Entrepreneurs Ireland. Tonight I'll be joined by some of the social entrepreneurs who've responded so well in order to keep their impact on track and to keep making a difference in Ireland this year.
Ideally, the dream to make sure that every direct provision centre in Ireland can have access to counselling and that every single refugee in Ireland can have access to support. People leave their home country in the hope of finding hope. They come to Ireland, so they cross that bridge. As they cross the bridge, try to imagine that the two ends of the bridge connecting to the past and the future just disappear. So you find yourself in the middle of a bridge with no connection to the scary past and no connection to the hopeful future. And this is what's happening with direct provision. It's that kind of quicksand where people sink further into institutionalization. And LIB is there to support them, to reignite that sense of hope and resilience that they had when they left their home country.
When I found the term kinship care, it was like I found a tribe. You know, there are so many other families out there. And in Ireland today, there are thousands of children being cared for by relatives, by grandparents, by aunts, uncles and older siblings and even close friends. What motivates me is the stories that I hear when I talk to carers from Wexford to Monaghan to Galway to Dublin, is that sense of when we speak is we're not alone.
So for me, the beginning of my why, I suppose, was that I've been working in the disability sector on the front line as a social care worker for just over 20 years in lots of different types of services, and I absolutely loved my job. But on an almost daily basis, I would see so-called simple activities sometimes go pretty, catastrophically wrong. And often the reason that they went wrong was because the child or adult that was expected to be at the centre of them didn't get opportunity or access to information that would have helped prepare them for that activity.
What drove us to set up Dabble Do Music in the first place, both Shane and myself, we've benefited loads from music being a really big part of our lives and all the opportunities that it's created for us. Chatting with teachers, we came to find out that I suppose teachers needed maybe a bit more support when it came to delivering music effectively.
A child going into primary school this year is going to be going out of school in 2034, and we don't really even know what the world's going to look like next month. So we're trying to make resources that really instill kind of creativity, ability to adapt and improvise, and have resilience and all these things that I think have become very important in the last few months particularly.
There's 60,000 students are sitting the Leaving Certificate every year. 50% of those students are getting access to grinds, and the vast majority are coming from middle class or more affluent backgrounds. When it comes to progression rates through to third level or to skilled work in some of the most disadvantaged areas, the attainment of a third level degree from an area of a population could be as little as 3%. And with that, we decided we wanted to set out an equity of education initiative where we provide targeted educational supports and personalised teaching supports to students and to enable them to fulfil their potential.
From the get-go, what students can do is they write their answers on paper, take photos of their work and upload it. From there, then the teacher records personalised video feedback for that student to help them to improve. And we've then added to that with additional supports like online classes, like study skills and wellbeing programs as well.
We don't only have a housing crisis, we actually have an affordability crisis where 40% of the population are not being served by social housing because they're earning above that threshold, but neither are they being served by the market. And that's a huge proportion of the population. To us, affordability is that nobody should be paying more than 33% of their net income on their housing needs. And couples like Kevin and Louise, they're right down at 16%. And you can see what it means to them to be able to pay their mortgage and to have a few bob left over, that they can put into savings or they can spend in their local communities. What you find is that when people have that additional disposable income, and in Poppentry it was around €600 per family per month, 60% is all spent in the local community.
We in DCC fundamentally believe that the creativity and passion of Irish social entrepreneurs is crucial to addressing the many significant social challenges facing our country today.
I set out to try and solve a problem, and that was all that was in my mind. And any social entrepreneur will tell you it's really hard and it's lonely and it's scary and you're constantly reminded of all the skills that you don't have. So when you meet an organisation like SEI and they believe in you and they seem to absolutely understand the fear and the anxiety and the worry and the stress and the risk that a social entrepreneur might be taking in their own personal lives. It's the difference between you having the freedom and the confidence and the comfort of being able to at least try and make this change happen, at least try and make the impossible possible.
So I started tonight by telling you that everything is possible, and I hope you're starting to believe me now. And tonight I want to ask each of you listening at home, what can you make possible? It's going to be another strange year ahead, but I hope that no matter how hard or challenged or difficult those times are, you'll keep a small kernel in your heart, a belief that even in the toughest times, everything is still possible.